Is this working better? Let me have a look. Let me know. Is this working? It's working. All right. Yeah, good. Right, so it's working. So let me just turn that off. So as you can see, it's try on and error with everything here. And at least, well, now it's working. So that's good. So we've got Elliot in chat, and we got Mr. Shark Gaming. He's not a fish guy, but I know him, so that's cool. Anyway, the question: can my Siamese algae eater eat my Dr. Bachelor food ground? Yes, definitely. Yeah, the food from Dr. Bachelor is really good food. I still need to actually try it out myself, but from everything I've heard, it's really good food, and you should definitely try it out. So so definitely they'll probably eat it. Like Siamese algae eaters eat basically anything, and just give it a try. You're from Sweden, that's cool. Well, I'm from the Netherlands, you might know, but maybe you wouldn't know. I don't know. Anyway, but that's cool. That's really cool. So, and the coolest thing I think about this is we got some people in chat straight away. Like, I wasn't expecting that. I actually put a poll up on my community page for if I should start streaming again, because I did it for a while back, but then people didn't really like it or whatever. But since then we've grown, of course, and it's really cool just to do it now. So anyway, I think we'll just start from the beginning. Where did it all start? So I've been basically keeping fish my whole life, and since I was a little kid, I've kept actually goldfish in a bowl, which you shouldn't do. You should definitely not do that. But I did do it. And so I started there. But we've got a question. I have a Dual Rio 180, and I'm going to buy Siamese algae eaters on Saturday. It's my first fish in my 180 I have. Okay, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I think you could definitely get a few of those. Maybe, what I would suggest is get some angelfish, because I love angelfish, and angelfish are just really cool, and you can basically keep them in a 180 liter tank. That should be quite fine. So give it a go, and maybe some tetras and some guppies or whatever, any community fish. I think a nice community style would be nice. Definitely try that out. It's funny, this whole streaming is all new to me, so I'm all like, I don't even know if the audio is coming now from the microphone here or from somewhere else. I don't even know, but we'll see, and then I'll see in the end how it was. And we're just trying here. I know, but in Sweden they say that it's too small. I love angelfish. Yeah, I think online a lot of people say fish tanks are too small, you need this big or this big, but it's just not realistic with nowadays people. Not all people can afford a really big tank, and I think it's good to get people in the hobby with just smaller fish and like smaller tanks, So I think Siamese algae eaters are perfectly fine in a 180 liter. They might get too big once they've fully grown, but they should be fine. And angelfish, I think, are fine in 180 liter. I've been keeping them for years like that. And just definitely try. And he said, but I can just have two. So angelfish you definitely want to keep in groups, of course. You don't want to keep them, unless you have a proven pair. That would work well if you have a proven pair. But I would get a group of 6 to 8 juveniles and grow them out, and then pairs will form, of course. But you just need to have a look what you wanna do, basically. So cool. I'd like to know how that would continue on. So definitely let me know with comments and whatever. Anyway, back to the story where it all began. So it began when I was about 4 years old, and we had 2 goldfish in a goldfish bowl, and that was, that was just how we did it back then. I know it's not right, of course, because you shouldn't keep goldfish in a bowl. Any fish, well, depends. Smaller fish you can, like nano fish, I've seen people do a really nice bowl scape, and that can work pretty well. But anything, but keeping goldfish in a bowl is just a no-go, really. Anyway, so I had that, and I had those. Well, they actually survived quite a long time, surprisingly. I wasn't expecting. Well, I didn't know better at the time. I was 4. What can you expect? And yeah, my parents helped me, especially my father helped me with cleaning the tank, and we did that like each week. We would basically get the goldfish out, clean the whole thing. We had no filter. We only had a little plant and some gravel. And it's terrible, like it really was terrible. I don't know if I've got photos from them, but I can remember how it looked like. And so yeah, what we were doing wasn't really right. Anyway, it was just funny. Just we like to have them. So moving on, like I would say a couple of years until I was like 7 or 8. That was the moment when I got my first real fish tank for my birthday. So actually, I still have the fish tank. It's not in use at the moment, it's just outside. But yeah, it worked. It was a really nice. It was, I think, 60 or 70 liters, something like that, and it worked pretty well. I had some community fish in there. Your standard beginner fish like guppies, mollies, platies. What did I have? I had a betta in there, fighter fish. And yeah, I just had a random mix. Also corridors, of course, because those are great beginner fish. And it was just, yeah, cool to start. I did start pretty well with plants, real life plants, but also, of course, the decoration, like the SpongeBob decoration and stuff like that. And yeah, that was quite funny. I still all have that stuff, so that's the best part. Like I can, look back on what I had, and it's funny to see how you grow, from that stage to where I am now, basically. And so I had that tank. I really enjoyed the tank. Like I said, I still got it, so it's lasted at least about 8 years. Yeah, I think 8 years old it's now, because I've had it 8. Yeah, about 8 years. I think that's what the age is. And I had that tank up and running until, well, actually till like a couple of weeks or months back. So that was pretty cool. And of course, it wasn't always the same. Sometimes I had angelfish growing out in there. The other time I had a nice scape. The other time I had this and that. And it was always a bit different. But it was just cool, to see... just to see that develop and stuff. Anyway, moving on. So I had my tank. So when I was 8, I had my first tank. And then moving on, I would say, let me think. So I had that tank, and I got another tank actually for free from somebody I knew. They didn't want the tank anymore, so I got the tank for free. And I thought that'd be pretty cool, I'd just have another tank. And at the time, I was actually breeding a lot of guppies and selling the guppies. That's where it actually started, with the breeding and selling of these fish. And yeah, it's basically those guppies. That was my little business when I was like 9 or 10 years old, and I was just selling them for 50 cents each. And yeah, it was just cool to do that, and I really enjoyed it. And actually, I would love to go back to that time to do that, because it's funny how the excitement of getting new fish and all of that, it just degrades the longer you keep fish, and that's kind of a shame. But yeah, I remember it was so cool to go to the fish shop and get new fish. And so for this new tank, I got all different types of fish, and I started dividing my baby guppies and putting them in there to grow them out, and then selling the males and females and whatever. And yeah, I just loved doing that. And so then I had 2 tanks until the age of 12. something like that. Well, yeah, no, 11 actually. And then I actually started in my bedroom. I got two more. Well, actually, I got one more tank first. So then I had 3 tanks in total. But I also, my little brother, he got a tank. And so basically, both we decided, we want to keep some more fish, and whatever. So we both got the same tank. These were just 30-liter tanks. And yeah, really simple. I think they were from Superfish, if you might know the company, and they have like an all-included set with a filter. They had a heater, a net, some fish food, some whatever, all like a bundle. You can buy them anywhere. And we got both one of those, and then we got our substrate and our plant. And I remember like looking up YouTube videos on like how to properly set up a tank and which fish we want to get and all stuff like that. And I remember just doing that, and I loved doing that. Like, I really want to go back to that time where I could do that. And like now, it's just because I have so much knowledge on fish and fish keeping and breeding. Of course you learn stuff each day, but it's not the same as back then. Anyway, so we got those tanks, we set them up, and I think I've got all photos from these still, and I might post those on the community tab, as a community post, just to show you how my tanks evolved from 4 years old to now 16 years old. So yeah, I might do that. Anyway, we've got another question. So have you ever had goldfish? Yes, I have. Like I just said, I had them in the bowl, and that wasn't the best idea. But I've also got a pond outside. Actually, I've never shown you guys that pond, but I should. Yeah, I'm gonna in the summer now. Now it's gonna become summer here and nicer weather, and I'm basically, yeah. I'll show you that. So yeah, I've got a pond outside with goldfish. Anyway, another question. Sorry, Elliot, I just missed your question, but I can answer it now. It would be great if you can add me on Snapchat so I can question about angelfish, everything about that. So actually, I don't have Snapchat, but what you can do, you can follow me on Instagram, just at JT Keeping Fish Instagram. If you look that up, you can find it there, and you can send me a DM there, and I'll be happy to answer all your questions there. So definitely do that if you want to. Anyway, so back to, so I'll just tell a little bit more about my pond. It's like an L-shaped pond, and I've got a bunch of goldfish in there, a few koi fish. Well, I don't know if the koi fish is still in there, but I've had a lot of problems with like herons, taking eating the goldfish and stuff, and yeah, it's been a disaster really. So maybe in the summer I'll make a whole video on a new project with that, and yeah, we'll see. Anyway, so back to where was I at? Oh yeah, with the new tanks. So we both got the new tanks. We got the substrate, the plants. We set those up, and that was pretty cool. We just set them up. That was pretty basic. And I believe we had like 5 plants. Like I can even remember how many plants we because you have the deal like 5 plants for, what is it, like 15 euros, something like that. And so I remember doing that. And we got substrate, we got sand actually, which turned out not to be the best decision, and I'll tell you now in a bit. And so yeah, we just got those 2 things actually. We set the tanks up with the sand, but we didn't rinse the sand. And if you've used sand, like, sand is terrible, like it clouds the water just like that. So we filled it up and we planted the plants, but yeah, it was just cloudy as anything, and you couldn't see a single thing. But we turned the filters on, turned the light and the heater on, and yeah, it didn't really clear up for like a week. And I remember we were both like disappointed with, it wasn't working, and we were so excited to get fish in, but we couldn't get fish in. And yeah, it was just, not so, it was just, we it wasn't that good. Anyway, so we move on then, like a week, maybe 2 weeks, I think it was. And then we actually took our water to get tested in the fish shop, because you could do that for free. And why not? Like, we thought we may as well do it. So we did that, and the test, so actually I remember being a bit jealous, because the test water of my brother's tank was all fine, only my tank had some, I think there was a nitrite spike. So of course that wasn't good for fish. And yeah, I was disappointed, because my brother could get all fish, and he got all his fish he wanted at the list we made, like which fish we wanted. He got all of those, and I basically couldn't get anything. So that was quite a shame. Anyway, like a few days later, I thought, who cares? I'll just get some fish. I really want to get fish in there. And I didn't really know much about the nitrogen cycle and whatever. So I just got some fish, and luckily they did survive. So somehow it did work out. But I got my fish. I think it was like we were quite overstocking these tanks. We got like 5 corridors. We got 10 guppies, 5 neon tetras, a pair of German blue rams, which you shouldn't keep those in a 30-liter, far too small, And yeah, just all these things, and they were pretty cool to look at, and we enjoyed it. But then I would say, like, maybe we kept those tanks up and running maybe for half a year, but then my brother didn't really enjoy it anymore, and so then I got his tank. So then at the moment I had 1, 2, 3 tanks in my room, and I was starting to breed the fish. I was just trying to breed some guppies and platies and mollies. And then I got another tank, which is actually this tank here. So it needs some maintenance, that's for sure. But this is my desk tank with, I don't think there's anything in here, but it definitely needs some maintenance done, which I'm gonna do. I will do that. But I got this tank, and this was just for all my babies and all the fry. And I think you can even see this tank full with fry even on my channel if you go to like the earliest videos, because I had this tank for quite a while. Well, I mean, I still got it. And yeah, so basically, I just need to think, but I'm in my story. Yeah, so I got those tanks, I was breeding some fish, and in my room I had then 4 tanks and 1 tank downstairs, just a community tank like. I started breeding the fish, and yeah, eventually I think I was looking for, I thought I've got all these separate tanks, and it was going pretty alright, and I think I was about 13 or 14 then, yeah, something like that. I think 13. But I thought a better idea was, what I thought is just to combine like everything in one nice system, like a racking system basically. Actually before that, this might be a bit confusing, but just listen along and take from it what you want to take. Before that, no, it's hard to remember stuff, I really don't know. But what I do know, for my 14th birthday, I got my Dual Rio 180, which I still have downstairs, which is now the discus tank, if you've been following along with everything. And I got that tank, and it's a really good tank. But that was also the point where I thought, what if I start making some YouTube videos? I thought that might be, a good idea. And so I started making some videos. The first video is actually the Dual Rio 180, and it started more as like, a Corona project, just something to do during Corona, make some videos and whatever. And that was basically, that was the idea. But before we go further, we've got another question. Do you have the best angelfish that are not aggressive, hard to keep, and not a high budget? Best angelfish. So basically, what I'm understanding from that question is basically the best type of angelfish. Well, actually, so angelfish are all pretty similar. So they don't really, nowadays they've been bred so much and got all the color varieties, and they are. What's the best? Yeah, so what's the best, angelfish? So it doesn't really matter nowadays because they all the colors inbred, unless you have, of course, the wild strains, which you can go down. But I would start with just the commonly bred ones, all the different colors, and just go to your local fish shop and choose the colors you like, the ones you like, and that's the most important, really. Because they are all about the same, all they all cost about the same. There's not much variety in that, really. And I would just pick out a few, like I said, 6 to 8 juveniles, and just have a look what works best. They're not really aggressive. Well, it depends on. Once they get a bit older, they get a bit territorial, but they're not too aggressive. They're not too bad, actually. So I would just, like I said, get a nice little group, and maybe later down the line you can start with some of the wild types, but I haven't even started with those. I might want to start with those in the near future because that would be pretty cool, I think. So I might start doing that. So I hope that answered your question. If you have any more questions, or anybody else who's watching, we've got 6 people watching at the moment. You don't need to comment or ask anything, but if you want to, feel free to. I'm here to answer your questions and also tell my story about how I became a fish keeper and breeder. So back to my story, I think. So. By the way, it's a bit difficult for me. So the camera is here, but then my screens are here. So that's why I'm looking that way. And I don't even know how the audio is clinking. Let me just listen to this. Okay, so I think it's taken the audio from my AirPod. That's what I think. Okay, that wasn't the idea because the audio quality is less, or I don't know. Wait, let me have a look on, because I want to make this the best possible, of course, So let me just have a little look. Maybe this makes a difference. I'm not too sure. I'm just gonna have a little look once this comes through. Maybe this makes a difference. I don't think it's. Not too sure. No, it's not really. It's not making a difference. Anyway, then we'll just keep with this audio, and it's fine, really. But I'll get it sorted next time. Next time we stream, I'll get it all sorted and fixed, so it comes through here, because that's better. Wait, if I tap this, I might be able to listen. Let me just listen. So it comes through here. Yeah, no, it's not coming through there. Okay, anyway, Budget Pond Keeper, good evening to you as well. Good that you are here. Yeah, glad you are here, and welcome and enjoy, I would say. We're on the first stream. We're just testing some stuff out. And right, what's your favorite fish? So, favorite fish, well, difficult, but I would say discus or angelfish, one of the two. I love them both, basically, but discus or angelfish. Have I got any other animals? Yes, I have got more animals. I've got a dog, which is actually here. Let me get her. There we have my dog, Coco. Her paw is not too good. Yeah, she got in a car accident and that wasn't too good. But tomorrow it's getting amputated actually. So yeah, we'll just hope for the best for that. So that's my dog, Coco. I've got some chickens and I've got also a rabbit and some birds. And yeah, that's basically it. And then the fish, of course. Right, so I don't know if the stream is lagging a bit. It shouldn't be happening, but let me have a look if this is okay. I'm hoping it won't lag, but I'm trying my best. That's what I'm trying. Like, this is all the first time. Next time it'll be way better. Let me just tell you that. Anyway, we've got another question or message from Yuri Sima. I don't know if I've pronounced that right. Sorry for that. I'm sorry for your discus fish that you lost. On the other hand, I appreciate that you recorded the process of getting out the dead body. I think everyone should see that it is part of the hobby. Yes, thank you. Well, yeah. So it is a shame that fish died. I still don't really know how it. Well, I think he spooked himself or something happened, because discus are known for doing that. And but yeah, I think it's also good to be honest, and just show what happens when keeping fish. Like, fish die. That's just a fact. That always happens. There's no going around that, basically. And yeah, so definitely I'll always show if something happens or let you guys know on something big. And yeah, I think that's important. So yeah, Elliot, that'd be good if you look at the Instagram. You can all follow there. Yeah, for anybody else who wants to follow, definitely do that. Because sometimes I post some other things there, some stuff I'm working on or whatever. So check that out. Anyway, back to the story. I really don't know where I was now. Let me just think. So I had my Jewelry, right? So after Jewelry, oh yeah, that's what it was. I started on YouTube, and I wasn't expecting anything crazy really. And let me just get a drink a minute. So yeah, I wasn't at all expecting anything really. I was just thinking, this is fun, let me try it out. And so yeah, the first one was on the Jewelry, and we've got Brelilio in chat. Yo, hello to you as well. I hope I pronounced your name right. I'm so bad at names, I'm so sorry for that, but good to have you with us. Right, so actually the funny thing about this is I'm seeing all like new names that I haven't seen before, but then yet they might have been subscribed for a really long time and I just don't know. That might be an option. But that's pretty cool to see all people here. I just love it. Anyway, so let me continue. Yeah, so I uploaded my first video, and actually, it started to gain some views. So it's about at 8,000 views now, which is crazy. And yeah, it's just crazy to me, because if you go and watch that, it's like the quality is just. Yeah, I got a baby voice there. I am like a baby there. Just yeah, it's just, well, go watch it if you want to have a laugh, definitely. And actually the tank looked amazing, so yeah, it did look amazing, if I would say so. We got a message from Yuri again. So I have aquariums for 7 years now, and I'm still scared of buying discus because something like this might happen. So you are a bigger man here. Good with hobby for upcoming years. Yeah, thank you. So yeah, you can start. discus are awesome, right? And so also I'm breeding discus at the moment. I need to make a few videos on that maybe in the future, but I've got some babies, and discus are just really cool fish. So, you know, I wouldn't let, like, you've been keeping fish now for 7 years. That's quite a long time. I would give it a go if I was you, but that's just because I like to, yeah, just to take a chance. And you know, you can just start like with the angelfish, a group of 6 to 8, something like that. Of course, you need a big enough tank, and well, mine are now in a 180-liter tank, but that's a bit on the small side. I'd rather give them a bit bigger tank, but you know, I can't really do that at the moment. Anyway, so yeah, maybe try them, maybe not. It's up to you in the end. But discus are beautiful fish. That's for sure. You have fish for 5, so I'm guessing you have 5 fish tanks. That's what I'm guessing. So yeah. Anyway, back to my whole story. So wait, I just need to. There we go. Dog needs to go down. We got another message. My nitrite killed all my fish. I had a nitrate spike and it was on my 70-liter. I feed them one time per day, and on the 180-liter I'm going to be so much picky and careful. I'm going to feed my same. Yeah, so yeah, of course, food, you know, the amount of food you feed has to do with nitrates and nitrite spikes and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely just yeah, don't feed them too much, and make sure your water is good, you know, before you add fish, because you don't want them dying on you, of course. And yeah, just test your water. That's the key to everything, testing the water. Yuriso says, I'm still thinking about it, still didn't find the balls to do it, but I'm telling you, one day. Yeah, yeah, okay, one day, we'll keep it at that. And yeah, cool, just think about it. Of course, it's a big investment, of course, because discus are expensive fish, you know, that's just how it is. So you definitely want to be well prepared, and you want to be sacrificing the work, you know, to put in there. So yeah, good luck, and hopefully one day you will actually get them. Alligator every other day. I was so sad. I tested my water every day now, and I got my nitrite very low now. Okay, so yeah, that's good. You want your nitrite, you want really low. Like your net nitrate, you can have, you know, say between the 30 and 60, 70 ppm, something like that, because that's actually good for your plant, if you have plants in there. And so that's pretty good. You should check the bioload and amount that you're feeding. Cycled healthy tank should be okay with feeding every day. Just my thing. Yeah, totally agree. If you have a nice healthy cycled tank, you can feed every day, and that's pretty good, you know. I've actually got a video on, I'm not exactly what it's called anymore, something with like the perfect balanced aquarium, or the way you don't need to do any maintenance. And explained there is exactly how you can basically have a really perfectly cycled fish tank and basically do no maintenance. Anyway, where do I live? So yeah, I live in the Netherlands. So yeah, in the Netherlands I live, and pretty good country for fish. I mean, there are quite a few fish stores, but yeah, it's just a bit of searching around, and hopefully one day I will open my own fish store. That's my goal. Hello TNT Builds. I know exactly who you are. Yeah, that's my brother. Anyway, so in my 180-liter I have a very much bioload, and in 70-liter just got 2 sponge filters today. Yeah, sponge filters are awesome. I've said that multiple times. Sponge filters are, yeah, like the way to go. Sponge filters are really good to use, and I use them in all my tanks in the fish room, and only in the tanks inside I use a canister filter and internal filters. But in the fish room it's also like really power efficient because I just have one air pump running the whole system. So that's pretty good, and that should do the trick. Sponge filters, that's really good. Anyway, with all these questions but it's fine. Like, I love the questions. Keep coming with the questions. If we don't come around to how I became a fish keeper and breeder, like the whole story, then we'll do it another time. But it's good to know, we have people in chat, and it's awesome, really. I'm loving this. And maybe next stream we can do like a Q&A. If you have questions about fish keeping or whatever, we can do that then, maybe. Anyway, let me just continue. So we have got the jewelry 180, right? So then after that, the biggest step was purchasing my racking system, my 6 big tanks, and I got those, and they are 125 liters each. And that was basically the moment where I said, why don't I just combine all the tanks together and just do it that way? And I thought that was a good idea. So I got rid of actually most of the tanks I had in my room, and then instead I would have the 6 tanks in that's actually the garage, but I call it's the fish room now, basically, because it's just taken over by fish tanks. And that's basically. We need to actually do a fish room tour update soon. That's definitely needed. So we might do that soon. Because now with the new racking system, that's coming along really well. And I've got a very cool video coming out maybe Saturday, maybe next week. You guys might be excited to see that. One hint I can give is it's got something to do with breeding and baby fish. So those are my hints. You can guess whatever. That's my hint, basically. And then we've got Ruben. Jack, how are you, and how are your animals? I'm good, thank you. How are you? It's nice to see you here too. I know Ruben as well, so the rest of you might not, but I do. And animals are all good, so we're good. We're good with that. Anyway, so let me continue. I just get messed up with my story. So it was the 6 tanks in the fish room. So I got those, and that was pretty good. I've actually made a video on that also on my channel. It's basically, I had that on my channel somewhere. That's also one of my first videos, and it's not that good quality, but if you want to watch it, you can go watch it, whatever. And it has like 50 views. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's nice to see you live. Must be very exciting. Yeah, exactly, it is. It's the first time I'm basically doing it live like this. And a few things went wrong, like we had no audio first, and we just need to like try, and next time it will be much better. But 50 is more than 0. That is correct. Yeah, I'm happy with every viewer and subscriber I get. I'm really happy and pleased with everyone that watches my videos all the way through, because I know you are out there. Some people watch every single video, and that's really good. Because I'm still working for those watch hours. We still need to get 4,000 watch hours. We've hit the 1,000 subscribers, but we haven't the 4,000 watch hours yet. So, just watch the videos. That'll help me out. Yeah, we all have to start somewhere. Exactly. You need to start somewhere. I started with an idea in Corona. I thought it was a good idea or fun idea just to upload a video, and I did that. And that's where we are now, with everything we do now. Anyway, let me continue. So I got those tanks, and that was, pretty good. Had some guppies in there. I had a pair of angelfish also, and I think that's all. That's or maybe some mollies, and I had a very nice system, like a sump system, that worked pretty well. And that's basically that. Let me just have a drink. Because I'm doing all this talking, Next time I'll become even better prepared. But I've said that enough times now. You'll probably be sick of me saying that. Anyway. By the way, how is the volume? Like I've got music playing. I'm not hearing anything, you see. But I hope it's all well, like the balance and everything. Anyway, we'll see where we are. I'll see you when the stream is ended. I'll watch it back and then I'll say, oh, this is terrible. But at least I know what to change then for next time. So that'll be good. So, music slightly too loud. Okay, we can change that. You could be a little bit louder, but it's all fine. Okay. Music can go down a bit, just like that. So music is down, but then to put me louder, that's going to be difficult because, it didn't work out really it's now coming through the AirPods and not through the microphone. So I'll sort that out next time, but hopefully this is all right for now. So we'll continue with the story. I got basically, so those tanks I got, and then I had those for quite a while, and I think, I started, so I first had those, and then I got another tank, and this was this 5-in-1 tank. You might have seen it in my videos. I made a video about it as well. And this was pretty cool because it was like one big tank, but it had 5 sections, but it was all connected, and it had like a nice system and whatever. So that was pretty cool. And I still actually have that tank, and that is part of the new video. That might give a big hint, like maybe. Anyway, so I got that, and I had that in the house, but then I soon moved it out to the fish room because I wanted all my tanks there. And I also had my original 70-liter tank I also put in there, bare bottom and everything. But so I had that in there. And then the fish room, it was starting to become like a fish room basically. And I was, I think, about 14 or 15, something like that. Yeah, 14, something like that. And I really started breeding fish. So I started with angelfish, of course. Or, well, not of course. I started with guppies. Everybody starts with guppies. Mollies, platies, all those types of fish. But then after that, I went basically into angelfish. And that went all pretty well, you know. It just worked out well for me. And I needed to try a few times and watch a lot of videos. And somebody I can definitely recommend watching is Keeping Fish Simple. Nick from Keeping Fish Simple. I watched him all the time. I still watch him with all the fish he breeds, and it's just amazing. Like how he's still young. He's like, if I'm not mistaken, like 20 something, something in his 20s. Anyway, he's got now his whole fish shop and fish breeding facility. But he started just like me, basically, with one tank, and then starting to breed fish and sell those, and on and on and on. So hopefully I can follow that path a little bit, but that'd just be pretty cool. Anyway, then we continue. Let me think. So it started to become more fish room. I started breeding fish and the angelfish, and that went pretty well. Yeah, I got quite a few fry from those, and I started selling them, and that just went well. But in the meantime, I was also making videos, and the videos, I wasn't doing consistent. Like I was maybe uploading a video once in the 2 months or something like that. So, it wasn't really growing that much. And that's basically, yeah. And then for like a year, I stopped even posting videos. But actually now I'm talking about my YouTube growth, whereas this is actually for how I became a fish keeper and breeder. Anyway, maybe we'll do a separate live stream on how I grew on YouTube, because that might be interesting for some of you guys, because I know some of you have your own fish keeping channels, and you might be interested to know how I grew, and I can understand where you're at if you're struggling with not growing, because I was like that and I was frustrated with it. But best advice is perseverance. Just keep doing what you're doing, upgrading every time a little bit, and that will help. Oh yeah, that's the best advice I can give. Anyway, that will be a whole nother live stream. I'm thinking of all live stream ideas now, because I want to make this a regular thing. And Elliot is back, so good that you're back. I didn't even know you were gone, but welcome back. Anyway, so yeah, it became a fish room basically, and then until like maybe the end of last year or beginning this year, I thought, you know what? I've got my 6 breeding tanks. I'm keeping those, but I had all individual tanks. Thought get rid of all of those, sell all of those / keep some, and then get a whole new racking system. And if you've been following along with those videos, you would have known exactly how it is, how it's looking at the moment. We've got another question. Do you like Ultimate Angels, or are you more of a discus person? Right, so good question. Yeah, I just love both, right? Actually, Ultimate Angels, yeah, they're really beautiful, but discus are also so beautiful. So that's hard to choose, but maybe I would choose discus if you wanted an answer. But my answer really is both. Can you answer my question on Instagram today? Yes, I will. After the stream has ended, I'll look over there and answer that, because now the camera is my phone, so I can't do anything at the moment. But I'll do it definitely. Well, once we end the stream, maybe in like 10 minutes, because then we've been streaming for like an hour. I think that's good enough. So I'm nearly at the end of my story. Right, so yeah, we get the new racking system, and if you've been following along, you know exactly what that's looking like. And yeah, it's looking pretty well and pretty good, and I'm really glad with it. We've nearly finished it. Well, actually, I finished it, only you haven't seen all the videos yet, so they'll be coming out shortly. It's weird with YouTube, because YouTube is like, you need to film stuff in advance, and then you upload something, but then something else can be happening, and this and that. That's just YouTube, okay? So yeah, that's just the YouTube life. Anyway, so I'm really glad with how that's turning out. And in that tank, those tanks, I'm going to be breeding a lot of stuff. Like, I've got plans on stuff I want to stuff I want to do, and ideas and whatever. So we've got, Yuri needs to go. It was nice catching you live. Have a nice day. You have a nice day too. Thank you for being here and for joining us. And I hope to see you on maybe a next live stream, another live stream. Yeah, good having you here. And have a good day. Give good and bad things on my 180 liter aquarium. That's good. I'll have a little look at that in a minute. And yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I'm really excited for what we can do all with that new racking system, because now in the fish room, I think we've got like 18 tanks or 19 tanks, something like that. And those are all breeding tanks, of course. And we'll just have a look there, what we can do. And if you have fish ideas to breed, like, let me know what you want to see that I breed, because I've done quite a few things. I've done Zebra Danios, Christmas Plecos. I've done Corridora. Well, actually, I haven't made a video on that yet. I'll make a video shortly on that. I've done Guppies, Endlers, Black Mollies, Platies, Angelfish, Discus, but I haven't shown you that as well. So I will do that at some point. What have I else bred? Yeah, Zebra Daniels. Yeah, I mentioned those, I think. Apistogrammas I'm breeding at the moment. Yeah, I don't know. Have I missed any? I don't know. But yeah, quite a few things I've bred for sure. But I want to breed some more things, of course. And yeah, basically that's what we're gonna be doing in the near future. Breeding all kinds of things, and yeah. Film your aquariums before you go. And one thing to how should I feed my corridors in Sweden? Pansarmala. Oh, so I'm guessing in Swedish you say pansarmalar are corridors in Swedish. Is that correct? That's what I'm guessing. Anyway, that's cool. How should you feed them? Just any pellets, sinking pellets. They'll eat. Yeah, or algae wafers. They'll also eat, and live foods and frozen foods. Frozen bloodworms they love, but also live blackworms they love. So yeah, try those out, and yeah, film my aquariums. Well, if you want to see more of my aquariums, I've got a ton of videos. You can all watch all of those. Like, there's enough content to watch for sure. And yeah, check all those videos out if you want to see more, because I've got crazy amount of content on all my fish tanks, of course. Anyway, back to the story. So I think we've nearly covered everything. Future plans, maybe that might be a good idea. So future plans are to keep doing what I'm doing, of course, but also I want to keep growing, of course. Oh, you already watch all my videos. Well, that's great. I thank you for that. That really helps. Yeah, I mean, I upload twice a week. I can't really do more than that because it's just a lot of work that goes into editing these videos and whatever. So hopefully with these live streams, I can do maybe weekly, and that might be, a way of watching as well. And we'll just see if that works out well. I'll watch this stream back to see the quality. Anyway, I guess that the quality on stream can be a bit less because it's like live, so what can you expect? So, but that's good. Anyway, future plans, keep breeding stuff, keep breeding new fish, making more fish, selling more fish, and growing the YouTube channel. Those are my goals, basically. Yeah, those are basically my goals, and that's basically what I want to be doing. Not weekly, daily. Yeah, the problem with that is I still go to school, and I can't live on YouTube just yet. Hopefully one day, but maybe once that day comes, then maybe we can do some more videos and streams and whatever. But daily is going to be a bit too much for me at the moment. But I'm trying my best. I got the community posts, which are daily, so you can engage with those, and videos twice a week, and then maybe a stream every week. So yeah, I'm trying my best. I'm just a one-man standalone business. I'm not really business, but yeah. Are you gonna do a giveaway soon? Good question. I have been thinking about it, and I think I might actually do a giveaway. And you watch all my videos. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. But yeah, giveaway we might be doing soon. I need to have a little look what I'm going to give away, because I can't, if I'm doing this worldwide, the shipping costs nowadays is so expensive. You know, if I wouldn't ship to America, I don't know, it cost me at least 20 euros, I think. And maybe a piece of my merch would be good to give away. If you haven't seen my merch yet, definitely check that out. Yeah, I've got merch up and running, and links are all in the. I don't know. You can find it anywhere on my channel. So check it. Yeah, if you basically want to support me with everything I'm doing, you know, it costs a lot of money. Merch is a way at the moment how to support, and maybe in the future, once I get into the YouTube partnership program, then there'll be more ways how you can support, of course. So yeah, I think I've more or less covered everything. Yeah, my future plans I've covered all the way, my whole journey basically. So I hope you guys enjoyed, you know, watching me explain everything. I don't know if that's the most interesting to watch, but yeah, I hope you guys found it interesting. At least I enjoyed doing it. I didn't, you know, when I thought today, I thought, you know, why don't I just stream, just try it, whatever, let's just try it. And I thought, at first I thought I wouldn't get any viewers, maybe one, maybe two. But to see, you know, sometimes we've had, I think I can see that here. Yeah, at one moment we had like up to 10 people watching, which is just crazy, really, to me. You know, 10 people taking time out of their day to just watch me talk about stuff, which I really appreciate those of you guys who've done that, and the ones who are still watching, of course, and the ones who've watched all the way through. So thank you for that. And yeah, I think we're going to keep it at that. So hopefully this will go all well with ending everything. But yeah, so if you guys enjoyed, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.